from that sacrifice in which Purusha offered all that he had. All that he had, even the last drop of his blood. And the centurion, when he pierced the spear into his chest, blood and water, the serum, every drop of blood, he gave everything. He gave everything. The Father gave his only Son, and the Son gave his all, his life to us. And when he sent, he did not keep quiet. He sent the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit gave all the gifts to the church. They were all givers. We are only receivers. We don't give ourselves to God. We give some part, some portion of our blessing. When D.L. Moody once he wrote in a book, if any man can understand how to offer himself to God, all other giving will become easy. If you know how to offer you to God, the other giving will not be a hard thing for you. Give everything. Give everything. When I became a Christian, I was under poverty, and I did not know how my debts will go off, how my standard of living will rise, and I had no much earning. Because though I had a small job in government service, I took first loan, second loan, and third loan from my provident fund, and all the festival loans, and emergency loans, and loans from my friends. So when I receive my first salary on the first, how much will be left for me? Only some 15 to 20 rupees. Only that much money. When I go back to my home with this small amount, my wife used to ask me, how much you brought now? Then if I say 15 rupees, give that to me, and you will spend something else. So she was so careful in grabbing even the small amount from me. And I never knew what to do on those days. Once I was in a conference like this, and a foreigner, an Englishman, came to give the message of God. That time, on the first, I received a salary of 12 rupees and 40 paise. That was the salary I received on that day, after all deductions. So I came home, and as usual, my wife asked me, how much you have brought now? I told 12 rupees and 40 paise. She told me, give that 10 rupees to me, because I want to get ration from the shop. At least I can feed my children at least for 1 week. I do not know how you are going to pay the rent of the house, how you are going to pay the electricity. I don't know anything, but give that 10 rupees to me. Then I told her, there is a meeting today going on. It seems a foreigner has come. He is preaching very well. I want to go there, and I will come back. She said, leave the 10 rupees. Then you can go. I told, in the very first day, how can I walk with the 2 rupees and 40 paise in my pocket? If you have 1,000 rupees, you can go like this. If you had 500 rupees, you can go like this. If you had 2 rupees, how you will walk? Even there won't be any strength to walk. So I told, let the 10 rupees be with me. I will bring it back. Don't worry, because I am a Christian. I will never spend in vanity. So my wife allowed me, believing me that I will bring the 10 rupees back. I went and sat in a corner, and I never had a good dress on those days. And even for cutting my hair, I have to wait for 2 or 3 months. And such a poverty I had with all 5 children. And that it was nice. They were singing songs, praising God. And there was one man called Nadaraja Mudaliyar, perhaps some of the Tamil people know. He came with a big accordion and sang beautiful songs, and he was playing music. And some firing testimonies came like popcorns. They told so many testimonies. And finally, when the pastor, the organizer, told, the offering will be taken now. Then the preacher came forward with a small tumbler and a big basket. And he showed the tumbler, asking, what is this? Everybody said tumbler. Then he showed the basket. What is this? Everybody said it's a basket. Then he asked, by which measure you want to be measured? Then I thought, this man has come from a foreign country having so much of dollars with him. So I cried, by the basket. And everybody heard me saying basket, and also the preacher also heard. And then he said, brother, stand up. So I was in shame, and I was some other feeling. I gradually stood up and stood like this. And then he said, can you read a verse from the Bible? And he said the chapter and verse. I took it and said, in which measure you measure, that will be returned to you. To you. In pressed, shaken. So, pressed and shaken, it will be returned to you. Then he said, sit down, brother. I sat down. Then the preacher said, take your purse in your hand. And everybody took our purse. And then he said, what is the biggest denomination? You put it in the offertory. The only biggest denomination was 10 rupees. And the basket was coming so quickly. Generally, I used to put only 10 paise. But that time I had to put this 10 rupees. So everybody heart used to beat lub-dub. But that time, pattu, 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 pattu. 10 paisa, 10 ruba, 10 paisa, 10 ruba, 10 paisa, 10 ruba, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And the basket was coming so near. And it was my early Christian faithful life. If I was experienced, I would have made some trick. Because some experienced Christians always make some tricks with God. And I took the 10 rupees and put it in the offertory. And after that, still I do not know what that preacher preached. Because my mind was only upon the 10 rupees. So after the meeting was over, somebody told us everything is over. So again, I went back to my home. And usually, in my beginning of my Christian life, when I go back to my home, my wife used to ask some questions. Who was the preacher? What was the text he took from Bible? What was the message? How was it? That I thought that she will ask such questions as usual. But the moment I entered, she asked me, do you have the 10 rupees with you? So I was in dilemma. I don't know what to say. And then she started to cry. That's why I asked you to leave the 10 rupees here. Then I explained her, it is not, no, I didn't spend it in the wrong way. I do not know that preacher will draw my legs like this. And I thought that he was a good preacher, but he made me to put everything into the basket. And then she asked me, oh, you put it in the offertory. Yes, I told. Then why don't you put it in a joyful heart? Then I told her, because of you I was afraid, and if you say like this, I would have put everything there. Then I prayed with her, Lord, I don't want shaked and pressed. I want only the 10 rupees back. I slept, and the next morning, and every neighbor, they were all going to ration shop, and somebody asked me, sir, do you want to come along with this? I said, you go, I will come later. How to go later? I didn't have anything. About 11 o'clock in the morning, the postman came. The postman never used to come to my home because I do not have any friends on those days. Not even a postcard will come to my home. But that day the postman came and shouted, sir, you have a money order. When I heard the word money order, I did not know how I went to him, whether flying or walking or running. But I was with him. I asked him, is it for me? Look the address. And he said, yes, sir, you have been working in some other office in some other town. They have sent some arrears. It is an official money order. How much he asked? 250 rupees. Oh, 250 rupees for 10 rupees. If I would put 100 rupees, 2,500 rupees I could have. That was the time I thought that how God bless a giver. God gave himself. God gave his son. Holy Spirit gave the Holy Spirit gifts. And sometimes we count and give. Count and give. Some people are very proud of the Samsung. They count the Samsung. Don't count the money. Take something, grab something and give to God. And if God's hand started to bless you, that will be in abundance. Once I took my small boy to a shop, and I never used to buy on credit, so I will pay the money and get it. And on looking my son, he said, is he your son? I said, yes. And the shopkeeper asked him, what's your name? He said, Finney. And what class you are studying? He said, LKG. And he was replying in a nice way. The shopkeeper was so happy about him. He took the chocolate box and showed him, take some. And he said, no, I don't want, sir. Then the shopkeeper told me, he's very shy, tell him to take something. I told him, this is a good chance, take as much as you could. He said, no, Dad, I don't want. The shopkeeper pressing him, take something. I was saying, he said, no sir, no father, no sir, no dad. And finally, out of his love, the shopkeeper put his hand and took some chocolate and gave to him. Then he took his shirt and received it. And I was shocked, what this naughty boy. He refused all the time, and the shopkeeper gave, he received it. What a shame he put on